Hello guys, good afternoon. I'm finally here. I know I have just a few of you. Tengo muy poquitos. Okay, so how are you? Good.
Good, miss. Waiting for you.
Thank
You
you.
resolved the little problem.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to share the screen so we can start with the class. I'll try to make it short so we can cover what we had to cover today. And if we don't worry, we have time. I mean, we can take time of the next class to continue in case that we don't get to finish. Okay, and yesterday we were talking about the vocabulary and phrases we get, and then we were talking about what will happen if we were involved or in a situation as a survivor. Okay, well, now we're gonna work with grammar, and the grammar of this subtopic is will, might or might not, and won't. So before we go and check the grammar of these auxiliaries or modal verbs, we are going to follow the instructions of the exercise 3A. And it says in here, read the sentences from the text and put might, will, and won't in the correct place on the line. Then complete the rules. Okay, number 1 says, you'll be safe inside your car. A cell phone often won't work because there's no signal. And number 3 says, a building might follow you. Okay, let's read each one of them and let's try to identify if these are the actions or events or situations that are sure that won't happen, or maybe that it's just a possibility, or sure, which means that definitely will occur, right? So the first one says, you'll be safe inside your car. This sentence, if you read it, you'll be safe inside your car. What does it make you think? Sure, negative, it means no, maybe, or sure that this is sure. Sure, says Camila. Number 1, it's letter C. Okay, number 2 says, a cell phone often won't work because there's no signal. Okay, often won't work because there's no signal. Okay, I have won't in this one. What do you think? Is this just a possibility, or is this things sure that is not going to happen?
Sure, that won't happen.
Exactly. So number 2, it's letter A. And the last one, a building might follow you. This is just a possibility. Okay, so it says in here, in a speaking, the apostrophe L means will. Won't, what does won't mean? Or what is won't? It is contracted of what word? A contraction of what word?
Will not.
Will not. And it says in here, after will, might, and won't, what do we have to use? I mean, what type of word do we have to use after will, might, and won't? I hear you.
It's kind of tricky.
No. In the structure of the sentence, what type of word do I have to place just after will, might, or won't?
Maybe will.
After will, what type of word? I mean, imagine you're writing a sentence. What do you write after will?
Oh.
Mariano?
Sorry, I'm not following you.
Okay, it's a verb. A verb, because you say, I will see,
Okay.
I will be, I won't work, might fall, etc. So it's a verb. Being specific, a verb, infinitive verb. Infinitive verb, which means the base form of it, right? Okay, so this is just the structure of the words. Now let's see the meaning of them. We're gonna go to the grammar part. Let me choose it. And here we have it. Will, might, or won't. So this is the structure. We're gonna see it again. It doesn't matter if I'm just saying affirmative or negative or might. I have to follow the same structure. It will be subject, I, you, he, she, it, we, or they. It's the same word for every single subject. Here we don't have to modify anything. For example, in the present, sometimes we have to change or modify the verb. In this case, we don't have to do it. We're just gonna use the same auxiliary verb or modal verb in the same form for every single subject. So I will, he will, she will, we will, etc. Same happens with might, or in the negative form of each one of them, might not or won't. For example, I will be called. She might come. They won't come, etc. Okay, and in the interrogative form, might is not used. Instead of might, we're gonna use will. Will, subject, and verb in the infinitive form. And for the answers will be, yes, I will, no, I won't, or etc., right? Depending on what is being asked. Okay, now let's talk about the use of these modal verbs. It says, use will plus infinitive, then won't plus infinitive to predict the future when you are sure about something. For example, your book will be here tomorrow. I'm sure he won't come. Let's say that we're talking about possibilities. Using will in a sentence means that whatever you're saying is going to happen because we're predicting is like 90% sure. So let's say that if I use will in a sentence to say something about the future, talking about a prediction, something that might happen, but it's kind of sure that it will happen, I'm going to use will, and it means that it's very, very likely that that thing is going to happen. Okay, and the same happens with won't. If I use it in a negative form, it means that is sure, but the opposite, that is not going to happen. Next, with might. Use might plus infinitive to predict the future if you are not sure. I might see Yuki tonight. It means that it is possible, there's a possibility, but it's nothing 100% sure. I mean, it's just a possibility. It is also possible to use will, might, or might not, and won't with them. I think there will be, I think there will be a lot of people at the party. Okay, by the way, for example, in the case of might, let's say that if will, it's like a 90-something% that sure, might is just, let's say, an 80 or 70% that the things are going to happen. So might and may are basically the same. Here we don't have may, we're not using may, but in case that you see it and you wonder, okay, what is the difference between might and may? There's not a big difference actually. It's basically, it is related to the possibility, but at the end, since they are just, since using might or may is not that possible, so at the end, they're basically the same. Probably might is a little bit more formal, but at the end, they're the same, in case that you see it, right? Or you were wondering about this.
Miss, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
It is necessary to end the sentence with but I'm not sure when you use might. No. For example,
no, this is just like
buy a car next year. That's it. But I'm not sure.
Not necessarily, because when you're using might in a sentence, you are letting the other person know that it is not sure that that thing is going to happen.
You imply this in the sentence.
I mean, it's
happen or not.
You were talking like in a written sentence or in a conversation?
And speaking in a written person. Wait, I mean, when you say I may buy a car next year. I mean, you say there's no necessity to say, but I'm not sure.
So at the end, it's like kind of like you're giving even more emphasis, just
Okay,
more
that's
emphasis
it.
by saying I'm not sure,
Okay.
but it's not necessary. I mean, you don't have to say it because, as I was saying, just by saying that it might, it is just like a possibility. You're not saying that it is going to happen. We don't have here win. I mean, we don't have here going to, but I've got to say that talking about possibilities, because here we're seeing it as predictions. Aquí lo estamos viendo como predicciones, right? So I will say that going to goes at the top of all the structures or tenses we can use to predict something. So when you were saying, for example, oh, I'm going to see, or it is going to rain, for example, oh, look at the sky, it's going to rain. So if you use going to, it's like 99% sure that the things are going to happen. When you use a sentence with will, talking, I repeat, making emphasis that you're talking about predictions. When you use a sentence with will, it's like a 90% sure. And with might, it depends, right? Because if you say it in your tone of voice, because the way you say it says a lot. So it depends. It could be a 50% sure about the things will happen, or it could be kind of an 80. I mean, you could be almost sure about it, but if you say might, it's because you don't want the other person to think that is for sure. Do you get me? So, for example, here this sentence says, I might see Jackie tonight. I'm not saying that I will see it. I will see her because probably I'm waiting for her answer, or probably I have some plans and I need first to finish those plans before I decide to see her or something like that. So it's just a possibility, but it doesn't mean that it's for sure. Even though you just might, it could be sure because at the end you see her. But using might, let's say that it leaves the other person like that. How can I explain it? Like, this is not like you're not, let's say, it's not a must. It's not a must that will happen. Sí, o sea, no es 100% seguro, no es seguro que va a suceder. ¿Ok? Entonces, with will es seguro, no es 100% seguro, pero es seguro. Y con might es menos seguro. O sea, simplemente es una posibilidad. Yes?
Yes.
Ok. Vamos a practicar. Let's practice with might not, will not, or will. Here it says, complete the conversation with apostrophe LL. By the way, this is the same as will. Es lo mismo que will. With will, won't, or might. So let's do this one together so we can't save time. So the first part says, oh no, the dog ran away again. Don't worry. Okay, you need to look at the way the person is saying it. Since it is a reading, you will say, how can I know, right? But that's why we have some exclamation marks or question marks to know if the person is it's excited or is sure about what this person is saying, etc. Again, this conversation is between A and B, right? Letter A says, oh no, the dog ran away again. So it's saying that he or she doesn't have the dog. Then letter B says, don't worry, he come back. Why do you think this person is saying, don't worry? What do you think? This person feels sure that the dog is coming back or not? What would you write here? Exactly, right? He will come back. Don't worry, because by saying don't worry, it's like a key phrase that you know that the other person is sure that the dog will come back. And then letter A again says, are you sure he what? What do you think? It's like an answer to the previous sentence. Are you sure he?
The same.
He will, right?
Uh-huh.
Are you sure he will? And then the letter B says, okay, but he not come back today. That's possible. So then what do you think he's saying?
Might.
Might, very good. He might not come back today. That's possible. But I'm sure, okay, this person is sure, but I'm sure he come back tomorrow.
He will.
Will.
He will, very good. I'm sure he will come back tomorrow. I don't believe you. He come back. So this person says, I don't believe you because he is sure, but about the opposite. So he what?
Won't.
He won't. Very good. He won't come back. We never see him again. I'm sure. So this person feels sure about what he's saying. So what do you think he's saying?
Won't.
In this case is, oh, by the way, when we are saying never, never is like a negative, right? But when we use never, we have to use the affirmative structure of the auxiliary. So in this case, would be
Miss, ¿qué página? Es que yo tengo el libro.
let me see. 147.
Gracias.
You're welcome. Okay, so I was asking you, this person is sure that of the opposite. So it says he won't come back. We never see him again. What is missing here?
We will never see
We
him
will
again?
never. We will never. We will never see him again, I'm sure. Oh, look, here he is now. So the dog finally came back. Okay, questions about this exercise we just answered?
No.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to erase. You don't have to write this one, but I will ask you to write the next one, okay? So here it says, circle the two correct alternatives. In order for you to know if you are going to use won't or might not or will or like that, you have to be involved in the conversation and know about the context and know, like, have a reference, etc., etc. But these are just sentences, so that's why we are going to choose two possible answers, okay? Because at the end, two of them would be possible, and the other one would be, it won't make sense if you use it. So I'm going to ask you to read the sentences as in the example number one. For example, it says, he eat it, I'm sure. So if the person feels sure about this, then it means that this person is using will or won't. So that's what I'm asking you to do. Look at the keywords. Check if you have a word or a phrase or something that is telling you what to choose. And you will have to choose two options, okay? Escoge dos opciones de aquí que pudieran ir con la oración, and then when you are ready, tell me, and we are going to check them and share them, okay? It's just the exercise B. Is it clear?
Yep.
Thank you.
Tenemos que encerrar el correcto.
Two correct possible answers. While you do that, I'm going to take attendance. So let's see, Bojorquez Valenzuela.
Monday.
Are you here? Yes, right? Okay. Buelna Encinas.
Listo.
Present.
Carrillo Alcántara.
Present.
Ceja Flores.
Present.
De la Torre Espinosa.
Present.
Del Castillo Sosa. Echuchuri Jaime.
Presente.
Fierros Zubia.
Presente.
Figueroa Ruiz. Guzmán Carranza.
Here.
Huerta Robles. Yaques Valenzuela.
Presente. Present.
López Lagarda.
Presente.
Loya Astrid.
Presente.
Ayer no me dijiste cuál era tu nombre completo. ¿Me ayudas, por favor?
¿El mío?
Sí.
Astrid Ariane Loya Moreno.
Thank you. Molina Ruiz. Morena Ruiz, no. Moreno Gutiérrez.
Present.
Núñez López.
Present.
Pereira Bersini. Torres Barreras.
Presente.
Torres Gutiérrez. Verdugo Estrada.
Present.
Villa Escusa Landeros. Okay, thank you. Finished?
No,
Not yet? Okay, I'll give you 1 or 2 more minutes. Please tell me when you are ready.
oh, ready, miss.
Okay, do you guys are ready, the rest of you? Are you guys ready? Sorry. No? Okay, I'll wait. By the way, Jorge, I'm curious, where did you learn English?
So in different places. I mean,
By studying or you were
yeah,
in
yeah,
school?
studying when I was at the secondary, yeah, in high school, and in the bank. I work in the international area in the bank in Vancouver, and then living in California and Tijuana and traveling and London, so many places. Yeah.
That must be fun.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Okay. And why
and
didn't you want to have the competency exam?
what do I want? What?
The competency exam to like just to skip the English classes.
Because I'm not pretty good in grammar. I'm a
Okay.
little lost
You like to
sometimes.
practice?
I like to practice. I need to learn more because I get confused sometimes, you know. Even I'm not really good in Spanish, so
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that's normal, pretty normal because
yeah.
it's funny when sometimes people tell you, why don't you know this word or something in English? And it's like, I don't even know it in Spanish.
Yeah, and I read a lot. I have so many books. I always like to read, but sometimes the grammatical
It's
rules,
complicated.
yeah, it sometimes it's complicated for me. I don't know the names. I know what exactly it is, but I don't know the names that they use to qualify something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the verbs plus adjective plus, and this is because I have a different times when I was I went to the school in the 70s. That was my primary, and then they have a different way to teach you, you know, Spanish, and then we changed the way they use write, and then it was a different way. So, and the different names that they use now with the kids to learn Spanish, you know, and that's really confused for me sometimes. So that's the reason. And English is just never, you have to practice, otherwise you're going to forget about this.
Yes.
And I have friends
Definitely.
in the United States, you know, like I mean, some of them live in San Diego and LA and San Francisco and Chicago, but I usually don't talk very often. I used to do it before, so I'm just losing my specialist sometimes.
Being exposed is like the greatest thing you could do to learn and to practice English. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool that you had the opportunity. and that you took advantage of it, because there's people, I actually know people who live in the United States and they don't speak English because they're too afraid and they don't want to. So
Yeah.
it's
I know somebody who's in class. Maybe she can hear me. Works at McDonald's and she doesn't want to speak.
okay. I used to work in Subway and I used to practice a lot because of that.
And she's in your class, but she doesn't want to speak.
I don't know why, but I kind of, I
You know
can
who is she?
imagine.
You know who is she?
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if she worked in McDonald's, but I don't know why I think that I could. I don't want to expose her, but I think that I can, that I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Is the person who wrote in the chat?
No.
No? Okay.
No, Raquel
Then I don't know.
speaks very, very well. No, she's really good. No, I'm talking about somebody else who works in McDonald's.
Currently?
Yeah, and she's in your class now.
I don't know. Who is it?
Her last name starts with De La.
I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see her. Hello. Okay. Well, let's go and check the answers, and then maybe if we have time, we can continue discussing about your experiences, guys, because I'd like to know more. Okay, so let's go to the number 2 in this exercise. Beta, let's practice. Tell me, number 2, it says it rains, so bring an umbrella. What is the option here? What are the 2 options you chose? Beta?
Miss, la verdad, no le entendí muy bien al ejercicio.
Okay, you had to choose 2 options that fit the sentence. Dos que le quedaran a la oración. So look at the context of the sentence. It says, it rain, so bring an umbrella. What do you think this person is trying to tell the other one?
It might.
It might rain. And what other one, which one could fit also?
Will.
No. It'll rain. Very good. Okay, number 3. Eric Nunez, please. Are you there, Eric?
Yes, me estaba fallando el micro.
Okay. It says, there be enough time to watch all the movies, so let's not start. What do you think?
Might not.
Might not, and because you have to choose 2.
I don't know.
Okay, anybody wants to help? What could be the other option?
Won't?
Won't. Number 4, Mariano, please.
I might not.
I might know by train it's quicker by car. Okay, and what is the other option that you chose?
Es que no sé qué estamos haciendo, profe. Es que me fui rápido a una parte y regresé.
Okay, tienes que decirme la otra opción. The other option that also works with this sentence. It's not only one, it could be 2.
I might not es que tal vez no, ¿verdad?
Ajá. And
On the train. All I know, No, no le entiendo, profe. Teacher.
Okay, somebody else wants to help Mariano?
It's won't.
Won't.
I won't go by train. It's quicker by car.
I won't.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay, Camila, number 5, please. She called tomorrow, so please take a message.
Es might and will.
Might and will, very good. And the last one, number 6, let's see, Omar. No? Okay, Joseph.
Sería want.
Won't. Okay, we won't be late, so don't wait for us. We won't be late, don't wait for us. It doesn't make that much sense.
No. It's might and will.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, might and will.
Might and will. Uh-huh. Might and will. Okay. Questions?
Negative.
No? Okay, good. Remember, here we chose 2 options because we don't actually know like the rest of the situation and context of this conversation, right? So it depends. If it is something that is sure, then use will instead of won't. I mean, sorry, will instead of might. If it is like, for example, this one of the number 6, we be late, so don't wait for us. Don't wait for us. So what if you're letting the other person know that you're gonna be late, so then you're probably saying we will be late instead of might. Okay, well, I'm going to erase and go back to the page. Okay. And here it says, listen and number the pairs of sentences in order you hear them. Then listen again and repeat. Okay, here we have 4 combos, 4 couple of sentences. We have the first one, it says, you'll get too hot, you get too hot, in future with will, and in present with the present tense, right? In the base form. So we are going to listen. But before we go and listen, I want you to write these sentences, please. Escriban estas ambas oraciones por número, de que 1 A and B, 2 A and B, 3 A and B, because then I'm gonna play the listening and you will have to say what did you hear first. Van a poner de que 1 y 2 according to what you hear first and what you hear second, okay? I'll give you 1 minute for you to copy this and tell me when you are ready, please, so I can play the track.
Teacher, so we're gonna choose either it's A or B?
No, yeah, no, no.
Oh, it's because
we are going to listen. We're going to listen and number the pair of sentences in the order we hear them. For example, it would be the tribe will say, you'll get too hot. So then if you heard you'll get too hot, you're gonna place number 1 here. And then if you hear you get too hot at first, you're gonna write number 1 here. So that's why I'm telling you to first copy this. Primero lo escriban because once you're ready with it, I'm going to play it so you will identify what you heard first.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Miss, we only have 3 minutes. Are we gonna wait for the section?
Yeah,
or-
because it's very short. So we're gonna just listen. I mean, I'll give you one more minute for you to finish copying this and then I'll play it. The recording's really short. We're gonna answer it. And yeah, we'll have to stop here because we won't have enough time to do the rest of the activities. But we will continue next class.
Okay, thank
Profe, ¿me explica poquito en español?
Sí, cópialo nada más.
Ya lo
Hasta
copié,
ahorita-
profe.
ok, ya lo copiaste, ok. Vamos a escuchar el audio y van a poner lo que escuchen primero. Son 4 pares de oraciones. Entonces van a escuchar y lo que escuchen primero en cada par lo van a poner 1 y obviamente el que escuchen en el segundo le ponen el 2.
Ok, perfecto.
¿Listos? Are you guys ready?
you. Yes.
Yes? Okay, I'll play it then. Listen carefully.
Unit 10, recording S10.4. You get too hot. You'll get too hot. We'll get cold. We get cold. They'll get tired. They get tired. I get hungry. I'll get hungry.
Okay, could you identify all of them or do you want me to play it once more?
Profe, era enumerar cuál aparecía primero.
Ajá, y segundo en cada oración, right? Porque son 4, pero 4 por 2.
¿Lo puedo volver a poner, por favor? Gracias.
Unit 10, recording S10.4. You get too hot. You'll get too hot. We'll get cold. We get cold. They'll get tired. They get tired. I get hungry. I'll get hungry.
Ok, ¿listos? Por cuestiones de tiempo les voy a mostrar las respuestas y continuaremos en la siguiente clase, ¿ok?
Okay, perfect.
Thank you guys for being here, for waiting for me, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Miss.
Bye.
Bye, profe.
Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Bye.